when the pandemic hit and we went into filming anyway, then we started to wonder, how are we going to get 2,000 people onto the set?
You are the great director of this fun series and powerful series, but season two is coming up.
Yeah, you and I have talked about this show before it was cool. I remember we chatted about this way back before it even came out, and now so much has happened since then. And season 2 is here, and it's quite a thing. We are officially, we hope to be for a while, but now we are officially the first ever multi-season show about Christ.
I love that. And, it's been a process because you guys have been crowdfunded and, it was a process of during 2020, even trying to be crowdfunded again. Can you talk a little bit about that or was it something different for season 2?
Yeah, it's a little different. So 19,000 people from around the world all invested $10 million total for season 1 before it even came out. So that was really awesome. But season 2, we didn't go back to the crowd and say, can you finance us again? We at first were selling the show. You had to either get a streaming, a subscription to VidAngel, or you had to pay to watch the episodes. And we were also selling it on DVD, and we were selling merchandise and things like what I'm wearing right now, the Chosen hoodie that I know you like. And
you're going to have to send me one of those.
Yeah. So that's how we were generating income for future seasons. And when the pandemic hit, we decided to make the show totally free for a few weeks. We thought this is just a nice goodwill gesture. We'll make it free for a few weeks. We'll lose money probably because streaming costs money, and people all over the world will start streaming it, but it's okay. It's something we're willing to do. And the moment that we made it free, our income actually quadrupled. Which is how God's impossible math works. But what was happening was the method of payment for this show is optional, meaning you can watch it for free if you want, and you never have to pay anything. But if you want others to be able to continue to watch it for free, and if you want to make sure that we are able to do future episodes and seasons because we don't have a big studio behind us and we don't have a big TV network behind us, then you pay it forward. And no obligation, no requirement. We don't bug you about it. We just say, look, this is how we're able to do future episodes and seasons is through income, yet we're not selling it. So, you do the math basically. And people, when they finish watching it, want to help in any way they can. Make sure that others can see it for free. They want to see future episodes and seasons. So between paying it forward and the gifts that people buy, in our gift factory, we call it, and the DVDs and whatnot. We had season 2 completely financed, and we're well on our way through season 3.
I remember you had a big deal because it was the feeding of the 5,000, and you guys had 2,000 extras or something. So can you recall and talk to us a little bit about that? And if this next season has something just as challenging and just as grand.
Well, yeah, I can definitely recall it because it wasn't that long ago, and the temperatures were freezing level in the low 30s, high 20s the entire day, and we were in Texas. We had given people the opportunity starting a year ago, letting them know that if you pay it forward at a certain amount, you can perhaps get the chance to be an extra in the Sermon on the Mount. And when the pandemic hit and we went into filming anyway, then we started to wonder, how are we going to get 2,000 people onto the set when, laws and filming rules don't typically allow that. And we figured out a way to test everyone. So all 2,000 people, before they set foot on the set, had been tested not only before they flew to Texas, but the morning of the day. 2,000 of our fans showed up that day and were dressed in first century garb, most of which they'd done for themselves because we couldn't make 2,000 pieces of wardrobe. So we had to send them videos on how to do it. And it was extraordinary. It was an extraordinary day. I'd like to not have to do that again too often. But we do have some big scenes coming up that we need lots of people for. And I think you can't replicate the spirit and the vibe and the love and the goodwill that comes from having the people actually there with CGI. So I think as often as possible, when we have a big crowd scene like that, we'll want to try to get real people. So we'll see. But right now we're still kind of recovering from that day.
So this sounds like you guys are really, prayer is a very important thing while you're doing this production, right?
Yes. It's funny. Not everyone on our cast and crew are believers. I would say, in fact, most of them are not. But we have experienced enough moments in this show where we desperately needed a miracle or desperately needed something to work out that wasn't going to happen through normal channels and normal human activity. And I think, when they say there's no atheists in a foxhole, I think that's been true on The Chosen. There's really no atheists on The Chosen because there's been so many times when everyone has had to kind of reach for God in some way. And that's for sure true of myself and my partners who, of course, are believers. Is we continue to put ourselves into situations where the only thing left to make it work is a miracle. So I don't know if it's because we are dumb or because God's putting us there because he wants to keep teaching us something, or if it's just because we feel like we're playing with house money in many ways with this project. The chance that we're even doing it is a miracle. The chance that we have the opportunity to tell the story of Jesus to the entire world with no interference from any studios or networks is a miracle. So we just keep going for broke and pushing the envelope, and God continues to seem to want it to happen and to help us. So,
just a couple more questions, but I'm interested now because you said a lot of your cast is not actually Christian. Do you guys do that where you sit around at the craft table afterwards and kind of have conversations of faith because it gets people thinking, or has there been any of that with some of the cast? And
I'm very, very close with the cast, and we have deep conversations all the time. And by the very definition of the show and the fact that we're doing a show about the Gospels and that most of them are playing real people, of course, that opens up tons and tons of conversations about who Jesus was and what the Gospels say. And a lot of our cast and crew, hadn't known a lot of this stuff. And so for sure, it's opened up a lot of conversation. And I think so many of them find it absolutely fascinating and have experienced enough things on set that they know that there's something behind this project and someone behind this project that's more than just us. When you're doing a show about Jesus, it for sure demands lots of conversations. And so there's certainly quite a lot of Jesus talk wherever we're filming, more than there is in most churches.
So what else would you like our audience to know? I know you guys are coming out on Easter Sunday, April 4th. Tell us anything else you'd like us to know.
Yeah. So episode 1 of season 2 is launched. We're launching it with a huge global live stream on Sunday night. It's going to be on our Facebook channels, our YouTube channel, the app. And that's the biggest thing, is the app. So The Chosen is totally free. It requires no subscription, no email address or anything. If you want to watch it free and easy, you can. So you go to wherever you get your apps, Google Play or the App Store, and you find The Chosen. We're very easy to find. And each episode after that of season 2 will come out as soon as it's done. Usually, a show has a defined schedule, like every Friday night at 6:00. Well, we may have an episode done before then, and we'll just release it. Or we may have an episode that's done later than that. We'll have to wait because we just finished filming 2 weeks ago. So we're still, we've still got a lot of work to do. And we had to rush to really get episode 1 ready. So, but it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of word of mouth. You'll be able to watch it with tons of people. But if you want to watch it by yourself, you can too. But the Chosen app is really what I want people to know is make sure you get the Chosen app, because you're going to see the show. You're going to see tons of opportunities to go deeper into the stories of the Gospels, into the stories of Christ. Then, of course, you can also get a hoodie like what I'm wearing.